miracle working, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to Source of Information, the only place where you could get real information regarding Medicare, Medicaid, low-income subsidy, anything that has to do with retirement benefits. We have a special guest today with us. My mic is well, we're gonna manage the mic one way or the other. Yes, we have Susie on the line with us today. What we're going to discuss. First of all, let me welcome Susie on the line. Susie, welcome.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you. It's a pleasure. Me and our audience was looking forward to see your beautiful face live with us because we're streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. By the way, go on 1580 AM on YouTube or Facebook. We're streaming live right now. Make sure you subscribe so you could get this show every time it comes on. Share it with a family member. Share it with a friend. Today, what we're going to discuss is the difference between HMOs and PPOs. Susie had a client yesterday and had a question about that. So since she's the expert, we're going to start with her and let her tell us about the advantage and the disadvantage between the two plans. Because I remember when I first started in the business, people used to discourage you from getting involved with a HMO, and they used to had every bad thing that you could say about HMOs because HMOs was just coming out. There wasn't much to know about it, but now it's very different because now the vast majority of people, you have I would say the vast majority of people in South Florida are with an HMO. They no longer with a straight Medicare. So what do you have to add on to that, Susie?
What with the HMO and the PPO, what I would add on to that is actually they both are a type of plan that you can enroll in as far as the Medicare Advantage Part C plan. And one they both work differently than the other. So with an HMO are more cost effective pretty much when it comes to out-of-pocket expense.
Okay.
All right? So the upside of with an HMO, as a senior, you want to keep all your money in your pocket. You want to save as much as you can. With an HMO, you're allowed to do that. It does provide you where you have to stay in network to see your primary care doctor. You have to select a doctor from the network to coordinate your care, and the doctor refer you to a specialist. However, when it comes to your benefits, you get greater benefits with an HMO versus a PPO.
Now, well, you use the word network. What do you mean by network? For those of us that's not in the business, who doesn't know what you mean by a network, what do you mean by a network?
A network is pretty much a group of doctors that participate in the plan.
Okay.
They have a contract with the plan, so that's considered in network. So if they do not have a contract with the particular plan, they consider out of network.
Okay. Very good explanation. Yeah. So So continue with your information with the HMO. So you said the HMO, basically you don't have much money, much out of pocket.
Correct. You
So
have less out of pocket and your benefits are graded.
now, due to the stringent regulation that they have regarding discussing information on air, so we won't be getting involved into specific numbers in terms of how much out of pocket one plan has over the other. Just I just want to put that clarification out. And by the way, the line is open for any one of you guys who have questions regarding that. You could call starting now. Susie is well equipped to answer your question. 305-945-1580. 305-945-1580. So, what are the advantages? We're going to take them one by one. What are the advantages with an HMO? Susie?
Well, the advantage is, as I was saying, is the less out of pocket expense. So that means you're not going to come out of pocket as much, whereas on co-pays, that is, meaning that, when you go to certain doctors, certain procedures that are rendered, or if you go to the hospital, get admitted, you save more on an HMO.
So, let me put it a different way. With an HMO, when you go to your doctor, there's zero out of pocket. With when you go to the hospital, in certain plan, you may have a co-payment, right?
That is correct.
But as a whole, if you don't stay in the hospital, you don't have a co-payment. Correct?
If you're not going at all,
No. If you're admitted in the hospital, the co-payment is waived. You don't have a co-payment, correct?
depend on the plan. There's several plans. Depend on the plan. We cannot be specific because a plan may have, a plan may not have.
Okay, so that's why it's necessary for you to sit down with someone that's knowledgeable about the different plans that could make the comparison for you and to help you choose a plan. That's why I always said, once you have your Medicare card, you have to call me, 954-667-4885. We'll sit down and we'll help you navigate through the different Medicare Advantage plan that's out there. So, let me see. Because I know right now we're trying to navigate with providing you the right information and at the same time to protect Suzella, for example, because since she's an agent, there's so far that she could go. I'm not an agent. I was at one point, but I'm no longer. So I'm trying to be as honest as possible with my listeners. But there's certain things information that I could speak freely about them where she's unable to speak it. So that's why if you hear her kind of a little bit reticent, hesitant, exactly, for lack of a better word, hesitant to speak freely, she's thinking at the same time, am I stepping over that line? So bear with her. Where I feel like she's stepping over the line, I'll take the mic from her.
If you also want more details, I can also, you can always give me a call. We set up an appointment to do the comparison, give you a plan review and all that. That's
great. So let's get back to the information. So the HMO now. So now the HMO, for example, when you go to a specialist, some HMOs you do have a code, some you don't. Right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. So so that's the positive side about the HMO. What are the negative about HMOs?
Well, with an HMO, you it's not the word I'm going to use. It might sound like a negative word, but it's not really. It's just to do the comparison. There's a restriction, meaning that you have to stay within your network, meaning that you have to select doctors that are contracted with the plan. And then the doctor refers you to specialists.
Right.
So, and then you have to use your plan within your service area. So let's say if you out of the state to a different state and so forth, you can use it. However, you won't be able to see a primary or a specialist. You could only use it for emergency purposes.
So when you're out of state, you could use it. At what point can you use it for emergency purposes? Is it going to an emergency room?
For the emergency, right. Let's say if we're in the state of Florida, you going to New York and you fall sick. If you go to the emergency room, you will be covered because it's considered emergency.
Right.
But while you're in New York, if you say, let me locate a primary doctor in New York to go see this doctor to make an appointment, you won't be able to do that with an HMO.
But you'll be able to go to an urgent care, though.
Correct. Or
Okay.
emergency.
Right. So those are the negative. So let's talk about the PPOs.
Okay, so with the PPO,
First of all, what is a PPO?
the meaning of the abbreviation?
No, that plan. What's a PPO?
Okay, so just to go over the meaning, is preferred provider organization.
Mm-hmm.
So a PPO gives you a little bit more freedom, where you could see doctors that are contracted with the plan or doctors that are not contracted with the plan.
So in other words, you could see any doctor that you want. Is there like when you get to that doctor's office, does the doctor have to be within the network, or the doctor could be out of the network? What is the doctor going to need another for them to see you?
What is it? Well, they have to verify what plan you have, what coverage you have. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to verify if it's whatever type of coverage that you have. If it's a PPO, let's say, for example, if the doctor's out of network, there's a different copay that the member would be responsible for, meaning that they have to pay a higher copayment if they're not a network.
Okay. So, now, is there a possibility, because I don't know too many of the Medicare Advantage plan that offers PPO except for one, correct?
Yeah, that's few that offers PPO.
So if you take I'm gonna name a company because by far it's the largest HMO company there is in terms of membership, but at the same time, I think they spread out throughout the United States also. Humana, for example. So, if you go to New York and you see a doctor that takes Humana, is the fact that you are not in your coverage area, is that doctor considered to be in network or out of network?
Well, it all depends. We have to verify that. And that's something that has to be verified by calling the doctor to verify. So, like the insurance company you just mentioned, they have, multiple different type of insurance. They have insurance through employer, individual, Medicare.
No, we're talking about Medicare. We're talking about Medicare because we're talking about PPO Medicare.
So you're saying if the person is in Florida, has a PPO, and they go to New York,
right,
and the doctor accepts a PPO, then that would be considered in network. If the doctor accepts that particular, if the doctor is in network for PPO, it will be in network. It will be considered in network.
So whether that's because I was using the example, Humana, for example. If you have Humana in New York, there's well, I guess there's a different network for New York and in South Florida, right?
Oh, I understand what you mean. No, it'll still be considered in network
Okay, okay. So
because, yeah,
as long they're part of Humana, they consider in network.
as long as they're part of a PPO network, they're considered in network.
So tell me about the
Because
positive. Why should I join a PPO?
Um, you know, these plans basically, whether it's an HMO or PPO, each plan are suited for each person's needs,
Okay.
right? There's different needs. Your needs and my needs could definitely be different, right?
Right.
So, like with the PPO, pretty much, if let's say a person is a snowbird,
Uh huh.
6 months in their service area, the next 6 months in their vacation home, these types of people would either do a PPO or a supplement insurance
Exactly.
because they're not in one spot for the whole year.
Okay.
You know, so that's the up. However, they do come out of pocket. You know, meaning that they're paying more out of their pocket because they want that flexibility.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, if you don't need that, there's no need to get a PPO if your needs are not like that. You know, it all depends on each person's needs.
So the only positive about the PPO is the fact that you could take it anywhere and use it anywhere, right?
That is correct. That is correct.
So what are the negatives?
The negatives would be the higher co-payments.
Okay.
The maximum out of pocket are higher. You get those type of things.
So if I'm not a snowbird and I only live in South Florida, is it beneficial for me to join a PPO plan?
Then again, it'll come down to your needs. I cannot determine whether it's beneficial for you or not because I don't know what your needs are.
Okay, well,
That's
I'll
that
tell.
specific person.
All right, let me tell you what my
In
needs.
other words, I cannot answer that.
Okay, let me tell you what my needs are. I live in South Florida. I don't go. I don't have a second home in New York or anywhere else. I spend my entire time in South Florida. If I go on vacation, I go on vacation. That's for a week, and I come back home. So in Florida, what needs, what would cause me to join a PPO if I'm only staying in Florida?
Well, again, logically speaking, you talking about you would want an HMO, but it's still. I would also ask you certain questions
Like
that
what?
would further more, in reference to, what is your, because, a lot of people coming out of group insurance, they have PPO, right?
Okay.
And they adamant of still keeping a PPO. So the thing is that you would have those options in front of you, both type of plans, or all different plans. As an agent, we're required to go over all different plan options with you.
Okay.
And for you to determine what would be best. So I won't be able to tell you what is best. It's based on what I'm explaining to you.
Okay. I understand that. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, this is my point of view that I'm about to give you guys. For me, is if you're not moving back and forth a snowbird as Susie had explained, or call you guys that's going back and forth. If you're not a snowbird that's moving back and forth to New York and down here, have a plan down here, then to me there's no need for you to go and to have a PPO. Now, a lot of people tend to want a PPO because they have a fear of when they go to a doctor, the referral is not going to go there. And I'm going to let you explain to you what's a referral. If you, the referral is not, it's not there. But if your clinic is doing the right job and submitting the referral on time, so the referral could get to the doctor, then really that we basically address that problem. Make sense? So we just basically address that problem, and the need for the PPO may not be as needy, for lack of a better word, as you would have it. Now, in the same token, there's people that want that still want the flexibility, as you explained, and the fact that they were in a PPO in their prior while working, they want that flexibility, and that's fine. When we were talking to that gentleman yesterday, and there's a saying in Creole that goes, something that smell good costs a lot of money. I'll paraphrase it differently. A beautiful perfume is very costly. You can't get a cheap perfume and expect it to smell good. So I'll turn the mic back to you. And I don't know if anything you would like to add on that, on a safe note.
Yeah, I mean, you said all the information technically when it comes to the two types of plans. You know, it's based on how the person want them covered. You know.
Now you talk about supplement. Tell me a little bit about supplement, because you brought it up, and I think the vast majority of our public in South Florida probably don't know what a supplement is, and probably would not be interested in joining a supplement.
Okay, a supplement is what I could freely speak about, even premium or whatever.
Oh, you can. Why is that?
Because it's not government regulated. So.
Okay.
So so the supplements it's another type of Medicare plans. A lot of Florida may not, like you said, may not be aware of that type of plan. It's also called a Medicare Medigap plan.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who they probably heard of a supplement or Medigap or 20% plan. Those are what the supplements are. So supplements are basically are plans that work after Medicare. So you would use your Medicare card. You know the difference with the supplement and the Medicare Advantage? The Medicare Advantage, like the HMO and the PPO, they work instead of Medicare, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't use your Medicare card to see your doctor. You don't use your Medicare card to go to the hospital when you have a Medicare Advantage HMO or PPO. But the supplement is different. You're going to use both your Medicare card plus your supplement card, because the Medicare is going to pay their portion and the supplement going to pick up the rest.
Ah, they're picking up the 20%.
The 20%. And the deductibles that Medicare does not cover. However, that plan comes with monthly premiums, not low, but high premiums.
Mm-hmm.
And they standardize. Supplements are standardized. They go by letters, and each plan covers different, Medicare coverage. So that means the lower cost plan, you're going to pay a little bit more out of pocket to the highest cost. So supplements can range in the state of Florida. Probably could range between $50 to maybe $200 or $300 a month.
And what happened as you get older?
Depending on the state,
mm-hmm.
There are some states the plan premium goes up annually. Then that's another thing. Whatever states you're in, you have to verify if that state, is issued rate, or there's different state that provides their premium a way where I believe in Florida. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I've had supplements in Florida. I'm not sure what age rating it is, but it may go up each year as you age. The premium goes up. But don't quote me in Florida, because I know they used to sell for different states.
Well, I don't know much about supplement, because I think I saw in my career I saw one supplement plan. It was a lady, beautiful lady in Pompano at John Knox, the John Knox community, and that was many years ago. And unfortunately, the somebody took it from me and just said, "I'll give you the cash," and I didn't know any better. I said, "Okay, I'll take the cash," and I'm sure he kept that client for a good time afterward. 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. Call us with your questions. I think there's a lot of information that Susie has brought for you guys, so I know that you have your questions. So you were about to say something before I start giving out the number.
So I was gonna mention with the supplement, it's just for your doctor and hospital only. You see how the other plans are doctor, hospital, dental, vision, and hearing. With the supplement, everything else you have to get separate. You have to pay additional insurance to have those other plans. For example, you have to get your prescription drug plan, Part D, plan separate. So that's a separate premium. For those who still need dental and vision, you have to still purchase that separately, because the supplement does not include all of these services. It's just for the doctor and hospital Part A and Part B only.
Wow. And then on top of that, you still have to pay your Part B premium.
Part B premium, that is correct.
So what advantage is there to have a supplement? Excuse me.
Well, if your pocket could handle the premium, that's the advantage. And then you are free to go anywhere you at in any states, as long as Medicare, the doctor accept Medicare, you could use your supplement.
Okay, but okay, you said as long as my pocket could handle it, but to me, it make more sense for me to keep, as I'm getting older, and even if I'm rich, I want to keep more money in my pocket instead of giving it away to an insurance company.
Yes, that is true, but some people just don't see it that way. But for me, I mean, as I get to that age, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get a supplement because I'm in Florida.
Exactly, because I always say this: the plan in Florida, by far, are the best anywhere in the United States. So if you're in Florida, there's no need for you to get a supplement. Now, I think the fact that some people may not know any better, and yes, they may enjoy the flexibility, but to me, if you have to pay extra for dental, extra for to see an ophthalmologist or optometrist, then it makes no sense. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
That's my humble opinion.
I actually met someone who has a supplement that she paying $500 and change a month, and still wants to keep it.
Maybe you should put me in contact with this person. Now, did that particular individual did you explain to him the difference between the HMOs and the supplement? I'm sure you did.
Absolutely. Did a presentation and all. Yes.
$500 a month, and they still want to keep it. Well, I'm sure the people that are listening right now, and if the same thing had presented in front of them, they would definitely go with the HMO. I guess the vast majority of them. Right?
Yeah, Absolutely.
So, in resume, I guess, well, for me personally, my advice to, and I'm free to make it. When I sit down with anyone, I think my obligation is to tell you the right plan. I think that's good for you. Unfortunately, if you're bound by a contract or you're an agent, then you could only present the fact and allow you to make that decision. But me, um, out of the three we mentioned, I would definitely go with the HMO because simply because of the saving. Remember, when you get to a certain age, you are on a restricted income, and even if you're rich, you're on a restricted income also because now if you only counting on your retirement benefits or investment benefits, um, and there's so much you would be flexible to spend. So, and you don't know how much longer that you would live. So it makes sense for you to be in a plan and not spending any money, extra money that it's not necessary. I don't want to put you in a corner, Susie, so I'm not going to ask you to comment on that. Um,
Thank you.
but you took the way out real quick. The other thing, last week, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, was it last week that we discussed about the cost of living adjustment? Let's go over that in the remaining of time that we have, or should we take a break? You want to take a break, and then when we come back on the other end, we'll discuss cost of living adjustment. Potentially, that's going to be in 2025. Wow, I could say 2025 because we're almost there. We're about almost halfway.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going
Right
to take
around the corner.
exactly. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to discuss the potential increase that you might be receiving for 2025. You are listening to Source of Information with Gilbert Franklin and Susie the Zom. We'll be back in a minute.
There is power in your name. So much power in your name. Move the immovable. Break the unbreakable. God, we believe. God, we believe for it. From the impossible, we'll see a miracle. God, we believe. God, we believe for it. Yeah, you are the way when there seems to be no way. We trust in you, God, you have the final say. Yeah. You are the way. Yes, you are. Your way out of no way. We trust in you, God, you have the final say.
305 945 1580. 305 945 1580. Before we continue, Susie, I have a very good friend, and apparently she's doing some great things. She was on 103 on another station that's on, I was watching it last night. And we're talking about Glenn Berry, that's is an author, and she was promoting her book. So big shout out to her and everything that she's doing. We definitely support you 100%. And the one good thing about this community is that we have to support each other and continue to support one another. And that's the only way we're going to continue to grow. So big shout out to her. Sis, continue doing you and continue to make every single one of us look good. Because when a Haitian rise, it's the whole community that's going to rise along with that person. and making us proud. Okay, so a big shout out to her. Susie.
Yes.
Okay. My phone is ringing, so we're not going to take no calls off my phone. But the line is open. 305 945 1580. 305 945 1580. If you have any question for Susie, any question regarding Medicare, she's an expert. She's an expert. So call us right now. 305 945 1580. So let's talk about the cost of living adjustment that potentially they will announce it in October 13, I believe. Whether everyone that's getting receiving Social Security, SSI, or disability, and veterans, whether they will get a cost of living adjustment. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. For next year, we spoke last week that it's gonna. I have to remind my memory.
We talk about 3.2 to 3.6% increase potentially.
I believe that's what it was. I have to look into that.
Yeah. So
no, that was 2.66 to 3.2 adjustment.
3.26
2 point.
or 2 point.
Right. 2.66
Uh-huh.
from 0.66 to 3.2.
Okay. I don't recall a 2.6 for some reason. But 2.6 it's really okay, let's go with the 3.2. So potentially, what does that mean for everyone that's receiving Social Security, SSI, and disability benefits?
That they will be receiving an increase on their Social Security for that year.
Okay. And besides the increase, what else going to happen?
I believe in that particular aspect. You probably would know more about Social Security than I.
No, but no. Okay. Most likely, remember I always say that once they give you something in the right hand, they usually take something out from the left hand. So the premium of Part B is going to increase to, I believe, $184 for
180.
184.
Yeah, and then it might affect, the Medicaid recipients if they don't increase the.
Oh, they will
they will
definitely increase it. The only area that always remained the same throughout the years are the people that's on SSI. The asset level still remained the same: $2,000 for an individual and $3,000 for a couple. But the rest of I don't know if that may change this year, but all the prior years they've always increased the income limit for Medicaid, for Slim B, for Q1. They've always increased the income level, and let's not forget low income subsidies, which is extra help with prescription drug. So those are always increased when you get an increase, because you have to take into consideration that you have more money coming in your hand. So if they don't increase that the income level, then that's going to kick a lot of people out of that window for eligibility. So if they're kicking a lot of people out, and so we're going to go back to the same thing, because now, although you have you don't really have more money coming out of your pocket, because what they've done is trying to equalize the cost of living so that you don't feel the impact. And normally what happened when you looked at a few years ago, at the beginning of the year, they give you a 5.7% increase, and the the inflation keep rising, and by the middle of the year, you end up losing 50% of the increase that you received. So that's why the following year they increased it to 8.8 I think 8.7 it was for that year, which was one of the highest increase that they give in history.
Hmm.
So stay tuned because we will be talking a lot about that till October because the federal government doesn't seem to have a hold on inflation right now because sometimes certain month it goes up. It's not as high as a year ago, but the goal is for them to bring it down to 2%. And once they bring it down to 2%, you could forget about getting any cost of living adjustment because there's not going to be a need for it because inflation at 2% is tolerable. I guess that's a good word to use. Let's go back to something that we could get Susie more involved in. Okay.
Because the thing is, we spoke about it last was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Compared to this because it's every month it may change, but we won't know the actual amount until October for the cost of living adjustment.
Right. October 13th is when they'll announce it.
Right. So as we're speaking now, they're showing it's 2.66%.
2.66%. Because potentially, the reason that they're estimating the 2.66%, they probably changed it from the last time because I think last time we talked, we said that it would be from 3.2 to 3.6. Now, the reason now they probably went back and reassessed it, and they potentially think that by October, which is a good thing, by October, the rate of inflation will be at 2.6%. So if by October it's at 2.6%, and hopefully by next year, 2025, inflation will be back to normal at 2%.
Okay.
So that's my guess. I'm not an economist, but that's my guess. Following all the information that's provided to us and by the media and all the new information that's coming on from the economists.
Yeah.
So just like you guys, I'm just going out there, get the information and understand the information and bring it to you. The information that I feel that really that's going to impact your life. Okay? So 305-945-1580, 305-945-1580. Now, Susie, tell me, let's talk a little bit about Medicare Advantage Plan. We're going to go back to that. I always suggest anyone who's on a Medicare, who has a Medicare card, the first thing that they should do is put a Medicare Advantage plan with it. And I think you're definitely an expert on that. I have referred to you when you're in the office, and in terms of explaining the benefits, you could do it better than me because every year you go through a training regarding those benefits. What you're thinking about the Medicare Advantage plan?
What do I think about them?
Yes.
In reference to
That, well, let me rephrase it differently. Explain to our listeners the value of having a Medicare Advantage plan along with your Medicare.
well, okay, because like that's when you see I'm quiet a little bit, it's because I can only discuss certain things, right?
Right.
So, okay, having a Medicare Advantage basically gonna help the client, or having extra Medicare plans. It doesn't matter if it's an Advantage or a supplement or any type of Medicare. You're gonna, with having original Medicare, you're gonna always need an extra plan to help pay the out-of-pocket expense of what Medicare does not cover, meaning the extra 20% and co-pays, deductibles, and so forth. So that's where the Medicare Advantage plans or the supplement plans comes in. So they help you with those out-of-pocket expenses because original Medicare does not fully cover you at 100%. So when you have that red, white, and blue card, and then don't have anything else that goes along with it, then you need to start looking into getting extra coverage because that card itself, when you go to the doctor, you will be responsible for co-pays, deductibles, and so forth.
And it doesn't cover you for the Medicare card by itself. Doesn't cover you for dental, eye coverage, and hearing aid.
And prescriptions.
But you know, one of the good thing about talk to me about the added benefit that the Medicare, well, most of the Medicare Advantage plan has.
The added benefits would be because, of course, Medicare doesn't cover these things. You have to get it through the insurance. So that would be dental, vision. When I say dental, routine dental, like if you break your jaw and it has to be reconstructed, that's different. Medicare does cover that. But if you have to go for cleanings, you know, you're pulling out a tooth, x-rays, and so forth, you have to either get into a plan separately or, you know, enroll in a plan that includes all that in there. So you have dental, vision for glasses. The vision part, if you have cataracts and so forth, you are covered on the medical end of your Medicare. But if you need glasses, you know, prescription glasses, you know, the doctor has to check your eye for your pressure and so forth, then those are added services that's included in those plans. So without those added services, if you just have the original Medicare, you won't be covered for these services. You have to pay out of pocket. And in addition to that, you know, you get a free membership to a fitness program, which is called Silver Sneakers, and, you know, different options. Basically, it's going to benefit you more to be covered that way, where you're going to, you know, get all the benefits that you deserve.
Okay. So you mentioned about silver sneakers. You know, talk to me about silver sneakers because that's one benefit that I push a lot because I value the benefit it provides to our patients, especially in Broward, where when you come in our office on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the you know, you have a group of people that's very adamant and very, when I mean adamant, I don't know, there might be another word I could use, but they don't negotiate their exercise. And I always use the before and the after example. Before COVID, when we had a good percentage of people that was in the exercise class, and you see those same people after COVID, after 3 years of not doing much, it's a huge difference. So I think that by itself, the silver sneakers and the exercise part of the added benefit, it's great benefits to everyone that has a Medicare Advantage plan. Would you agree?
Yes, it is. It is a great source of benefit, and a lot of seniors. I understand you guys are seniors, but it's good to kind of take advantage of. That's a free membership to participate in gym in your area, or your nearest YMCA or your doctor's office may offer that option as well. Take the opportunity because working, doing a little bit of exercise, going on the treadmill, you know, that helps you with your health, you know. So the plan technically wants you to be healthy by providing that extra coverage for you.
Yeah, and if you're healthy, you're going to live longer, and the plan will make more money. Bottom line, you got to be put it straightforward. That's what it is.
Correct.
That's why they offer you those benefits so you could utilize them, so you could stay healthy. Because when you stay out of the hospital, they're still collecting money for you. However, when you go in the hospital, if you go in the hospital just for a couple of hours, the bill comes back $6,000, and it's probably higher now with inflation. So the plan will invest in you coming to the center to exercise or go to a nearest fitness fitness place. So you could, with your card, you could take your card to your nearest fitness place in your neighborhood, and they'll offer you a free membership. Now, I don't know too many people that would not take advantage of that. Do you?
Well, there's several who doesn't take advantage.
Now, why is it that we do have several people that's not taking advantage of it? Is it because of lack of knowledge, or the fact that they're not aware of that they could take advantage of that?
Right. Well, you're right. Both. It could be lack of knowledge. Some seniors, they're not capable of going to the gym, and some seniors not, they do not drive, but they don't know that either. With even that, their insurance may provide a way that they can mail them some, workout gear to use at home.
At one point during the COVID, what we were doing at CareMax, literally still have Tom doing online class. Now, for our population, I don't think it was too effective, because then the vast majority of our population kind of have difficulty maneuver a tablet to get on a particular station, or to get it on a particular website, I should say. So it wasn't that successful for our population. But as a whole, there was the effort they made to keep everyone active. So so you mentioned, what about the OTC? Talk to me about the OTC. The OTC and the meal plan. That's another added benefit that the different plans offer.
That can be discussed pretty much through a phone call. Anyone who wants more information on that, I'll be more than happy to go over the options, because that particular benefit is not for, it's based on, each plan may be different from others. So
Okay.
I cannot discuss.
Okay.
But to answer your question in reference to that, yes, some plans do offer over the counter, where you could purchase. You could order certain things such as vitamins, on a catalog.
Right.
It all depends.
So they're able to pick what they want, that's on the catalog, and that will be delivered straight to them, right?
That's correct.
Okay. But depending on whether you have Medicaid or not, the amount of that you would be receiving deferred, whether you have Medicaid or not, right?
It varies. Correct.
It varies. That's what I was trying to use, and I went blank for a second there. What's the last word? Because I just see this gentleman right here just came into the room. That's mean that my time is up for today. What's the last word you have for everyone that's listening to you, and how they could get in contact with you?
Well, I hope this information is knowledgeable for you guys. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Feel free to give me a call at 754-236-4994 with your questions, and I'll be more than happy to make an appointment and give you information that you're looking for.
What's the number again? 754
754-236-4994.
754-236-4994. 754-236-4994. Mes amis, it was a pleasure. Thank you, Susie, for participating. I love you guys. Stay tuned for what's to come
welcome.
next. See ya.
This is WSRF 1580 AM W258CZ 99.5 FM, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Palm Beach, and the Bahamas.
Là où connaît situation VIH, ça bon pouvoir pour prendre contrôle santé. Département santé Floride dans comté Miami-Dade gen ressources qui disponible pour prévention, test ak traitement VIH. Test la rapide, gratis et confidentiel. Si vous positif pour VIH, prend traitement c'est une stratégie très efficace pour empêcher